bacteria. Probiotic bacteria are also known as probiotic strains, beneficial microorganisms, and probiotics. These probiotics are very helpful in the food preservation so that our food will have a long shelf life, and of course, it helps our gut system in digestion. And today we're going to know where does probiotics come from. It actually comes from fermented foods. So here is an example of kimchi, a fermented food wherein there are microorganisms that grow there and will transform raw substances into products. So the products could be this kimchi that is enriched with organic acids, peptides, vitamins, and bioactive metabolites. Some of the examples of fermented foods are yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, natto, miso, and tempeh. And what are those microbes? First is lactic acid bacteria. This group is the most famous probiotic strain. So if a person prepares a food which is actually composed of glucose and carbohydrates, it can be converted by this lactic acid bacteria into lactic acid. So this acid lowers the pH level in the environment, and the pathogens cannot tolerate such kind of pH level, and they're no longer survive. The first genera of LIB is the Lactobacillus, commonly found in yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, fermented vegetables. Benefits are first, it stops the growth of pathogenic bacteria, it improves the intestinal barrier function, lessen the gut permeability because pathogens produces toxins, and having permeable gut, the intestinal lining will no longer to absorb those toxins and support the microbial balance in the gut, releases bacteriocins, an antimicrobial peptide or compound that inhibit the growth of bacteria. It decreases the inflammation and boosts the digestion of lactose. The next genera is Bifidobacterium, commonly found in fermented dairy products and probiotic supplements. It is most seen in the gut system, specifically in infants, and it creates short-chain fatty acids or SCFAs from fermented dairy. It fights pathogens in your gut and assists in the regulation of the immune system and decreases inflammatory responses, and it assists in developing bowel regularity. The next genera is Lactococcus, commonly found in cheese fermentation and buttermilk fermentation. It benefits are produces lactic acid that suppresses pathogenic microorganisms. It contributes to fermentation of dairy products and may aid digestion. It produces nisin. This is antimicrobial peptide that inhibit the harmful bacteria and helps maintain a balanced gut microbial ecosystem. Next genera is Streptococcus, commonly found in yogurt, cheese, kefir, and fermented milk products. It produces the enzyme lactase, which helps in the digestion of lactose. So this enzyme is very helpful in people having lactose intolerance, and also it strengthens the lining of the intestines. It produces lactic acids, it reduces gut inflammation and supports the growth of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. The next genera is the Leuconostoc, commonly found in sauerkraut and kimchi. It produces the exopolysaccharides, so this actually um, connected to biofilm formation, produces organic acids, and for better digestion and gut microbial diversity. Next genera is the Pediococcus, commonly found in fermented vegetables, meats, and some dairy products. So this group of LAB produces pediosins, another antimicrobial compound, which inhibit the bacterial growth. or the pathogen's growth, assists in intestinal microbial balance, improves the production of lactic acid, and some of the strains of Pediococcus have potential anti-inflammatory properties. The next group is the probiotic yeast. So when you prepare a food and actually um, adding this probiotic yeast, the glucose will be converted into several types of acid. It could be acetic acid, succinic acid, pyruvic acid, or other organic acid. So the main purpose of these will just lower the pH level in the environment and the pathogens will no longer to survive. Contributions of this probiotic yeast in our body are: first, it just restore the microbial balance in your gut. It just inhibit the pathogens growth, decreases the intestinal permeability, decreases the inflammatory responses, improves digestion, and decreases severity of diarrhea. The first species here is the Saccharomyces boulardii. So this organism was first isolated from lychee and mangosteen. However, this group of species or yeast is very limited to the public. The next one is the Saccharomyces, commonly found in kefir and fermented beverages. Example here is the beer. The benefits of this um, probiotic yeast: first is this restore the microflora in the gut, improves digestion, fights the pathogen, supports immune responses in the gut, and decreases the severity of bacteria. The next group is the bacillus. An example or commonly found food that you can see this bacillus is natto. And bacillus is a spore-forming bacteria. That's why when you prepare the natto and you ferment it, the soybeans actually, which is composed here in the natto, which is composed of protein, starch, and lipids, it will be converted into enzymes, proteases, amylases, and lipases. So these enzymes are very important in the digestion and it produces antimicrobial compounds because these bacillus actually protected from stomach acid and they can survive on that area and then they will go to the intestines and grow there. And after that, the pathogens will no longer to survive because of the presence of these probiotics. So the benefits of this bacillus: first is this colonizes the intestines, it produces antimicrobial compounds, supports gut microbial diversity, and boosts digestion. The next group is the Propionibacterium. So this is commonly found in cheese, which is composed of carbohydrates and lactate, and the presence of Propionibacterium will just convert it into propionic acid. It produces the vitamin B12. And of course, this kind of acid will just lower the pH level of the environment and the pathogen cannot longer to survive or cannot tolerate such pH level. And the benefits of this propionibacterium are: it first produces propionic acid, assists colon health and energy metabolism, contains anti-inflammatory effects, and assists in microbial balance. And that's all. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel.